You're 18, hauling demolished garage debris into a dumpster on someone else's job site. 20 years later, you sign a sale agreement for $750,000 and hand over the keys to a company you built. Between those two moments sits a trade with 959,000 workers and a completion rate below 35%. This is every level of carpentry in America and what it actually costs to climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The Helper. You're 18. Your wage is $20.80 per hour, and your total package, boots, taxes, the pre-apprentice premium, comes to $24.26 per hour. The first 1,000 hours are probationary. They can cancel you without a hearing, without notice, without a callback. You arrive at 6 a.m. You leave at 3 p.m. The commute eats 30 to 90 minutes on each end. Your first day, the lead carpenter points at a dumpster. You spend 9 hours throwing demolished garage debris into it. The next day, you haul lumber. The day after, you sweep. You are not building anything yet. You are earning permission to stay on the site. The minimum lift is 50 pounds, and you lift it 40 times before lunch. You learn 3 words first: layout, plumb, square, and you learn them by being yelled at when you get them wrong. A senior carpenter named Michael shows you how to set out tools before the crew arrives. He tells you the apprentice starts by hauling lumber, then by setting tools, then by cleaning up. Trust comes after. You go home, your hands cracked, your knees raw. Then it's quiet again. At 1,000 hours, the foreman pulls you aside and says you didn't get canceled. And that's the whole performance review. Ready for Level 2? Level 2. The Apprentice. You're 19. You sign an indenture with the North Atlantic States Carpenters Training Fund, 8,000 on-the-job hours, 144 classroom hours per year, OSHA 10 certification on top. The recruitment notice listed 50 apprentice spots. 78 people applied for the heavy highway carpenters track that year. 28 got in. Across all crafts, 1,097 applications turned into 188 acceptances. Your first period wage is 40% of journeyman pay. $20.80 per hour, same as the helper sheet. The title changed, the check didn't. Bailey, in your class, works a Habitat for Humanity build by day, attends college at night, and clocks in at Home Depot at 3:30 a.m. for the unloading shift. She falls asleep at the bench in classroom hours twice. The instructor doesn't say anything the first time. The second time, he sends her home. You learn to translate prints into wood, concrete forms, framing, subfloor, trim. You read a tape measure to 1/16 of an inch, and the foreman still rechecks. You are required to attend class. You are required to stay in good standing with the union. You are required to pass a drug test before selection, and any time the company calls for one. The ratio on your site is 1 apprentice per 1 journey-level worker, and you are someone's shadow for 4 years. By the 8th period, your wage is $41.39 per hour. The instructor tells you the U.S. Department of Labor reports overall apprenticeship completion rates below 35%. Most people in this room, he says, looking around, won't be in this room next year. 2 of your classmates wash out before the second winter, and you stop knowing their names. Level 3. The Journeyman. You're 23. You finish your indenture. The classroom door closes behind you for the last time. Your new wage on the commercial sheet is $45.99 per hour cash, with a total package of $73.18 per hour. The national median for a carpenter is $59,310 a year. You are above that. You are also alone. Cody, 3 years ahead of you on the same crew, walks you through your first hospital build. He arrives at 5:40 a.m. for a 6 a.m. start. He walks the containment zones first. Every plastic seam, every negative pressure flap, every taped edge. Then he moves through demolition, framing, drywall, ceilings, cabinetry. He's out by 2 p.m. He tells you containment is the whole job. Break a seal in an active hospital and you don't just get fired. The hospital sues your contractor. OSHA writes you up. Patients get sick. He says it flat, like he's reading a manual. 3 months in, you take a wall on a hotel renovation. You measure twice. You cut once. The dimension is wrong. You took the print center line as the finish line, and now a 40-foot wall sits 1 3/4 inches off square. The drywallers show up the next morning and walk off the floor. The superintendent finds you at lunch. You rebuild it on your own time, on the weekend, with 2 of the laborers you used to outrank. You don't sleep much that week. You don't bill the hours either. The mistake costs your company about $4,000 in materials and 1 full day of schedule. Your foreman doesn't fire you. He tells you the fact, the figure, and the fact that you're fixing it, and then he doesn't bring it up again. That's worse. The next month, you take another wall. You measure 3 times. You cut once. It's plumb. It's square. Your foreman walks past, taps the stud, and keeps going. The crane operator stops cursing your name. The drywallers nod when they show up. You realize the job isn't speed. It's not making the next trade's problem. The construction industry recorded 1,075 fatalities last year, and 421 of them were falls, slips, and trips. 39.2% of every death on every site in America. One Tuesday in October, a guy 2 floors below you steps backward off a scissor lift platform. You hear the sound. You don't see it. The site shuts down for 6 hours. The next day, you work plumb, square, and tied off every minute. Level 4. The foreman. You're 27. The promotion comes in the same labor market, where 77% of firms can't fill hourly craft positions, 69% are trying to grow headcount, and 53% raised base pay more than they did the year before. Your foreman's premium on the commercial sheet is $3 per hour above Journeyman, putting you at $48.99 an hour cash. The national median for a first-line supervisor of construction trades is $76,760 a year. You stop swinging hammers, you start running mornings. You inspect safety, read specs, assign labor, estimate material, coordinate with the electricians and the mechanical crew, resolve problems before the superintendent hears about them, and record production data on a phone running Procore. You discover a truth nobody told you. The worst part of leading isn't the work. It's the phone. The plumbers, foreman calls. A delivery truck is 2 hours late. One of your apprentices didn't show. The owner walked the floor and wants the change order rebid by Friday. By 10 a.m., you've handled 6 things that aren't carpentry. Jared, 22 years old, started framing at 14, runs a crew across town, teaches at a trade school campus in the afternoons, and signs his own time card. The market doesn't wait for you to feel ready. If you can communicate, schedule, and keep quality moving, the promotion finds you faster than the old slow ladder myth promised. Your first real test is a punch list on a 30-unit residential build, 74 open items across 8 units, 3 trades blaming each other. You call a stand-up at 7 a.m., walk every unit, and assign every line to a name and a date. By Friday, the list is down to 9. The superintendent calls the GM. The GM calls you. You don't get a raise. You get the next job, a 40-unit build, and the call sheet has your name at the top. Level 5. The superintendent. You're 31. The construction manager median is $106,980 a year. The top decile clears $176,990. 550,300 people in the country hold this title, and the role is projected to grow 9% over the decade. You don't carry tools anymore. You carry the schedule, the budget, and the contract. You participate in conceptual development. You oversee scheduling, budgeting, sequencing, owner communication. You spend half your day in Procore. Your laptop opens on 3 monitors at the trailer, submittals, the master schedule, the daily log, and your phone never goes face down. Anna runs lead carpenter and project management work at a passive house firm in Maine. She tells you the trick at this level is fewer hero cuts, more system thinking. The framer who can install a window perfectly is replaceable. The superintendent who knows the window will fail in August because the flashing detail conflicts with the rain screen is not. Your edge stops being how fast you cut. It becomes how early you see what will go wrong. On a $30 million institutional job, the steel comes in 2 weeks late. The slab is poured. 3 trades are stacked behind the steel. You resequence. You pull the interior framing forward, push the curtain wall back, and rent 2 extra lifts. You save 11 days. You don't get a bonus for it. You get the next job. The owner asks for you by name. The buck starts and stops with you, and you don't say that to anyone, but you start to feel it on the drive home. Level 6. The owner. You're 39. You sit for the California qualifier exam, which requires 4 years of journey-level experience in the last 10. You have 16. You pass on the first attempt. You file the license. You print the truck door. You hire 2 crews. Your day stops looking like carpentry. It looks like estimates, scopes, insurance certificates, permit packets, change orders, client emails, and a backlog spreadsheet you read every Sunday night. The median building and construction business in the country pulls $1,509,665 in revenue. The median owner earnings figure, what the principal actually keeps, is $323,174 a year. You match it in year 3. Will, who runs a design-build firm called Turnkey Builders, tells you the buck starts and stops with you. You quote that to yourself the morning you fire your first lead. A guy who'd been with you 18 months who couldn't stop billing personal materials to job accounts. You write the check for his final week, and the truck looks emptier the next day. You learn the hidden skill at this level isn't carpentry. It's allocation of labor, of risk, of which client to walk away from. You walk away from a $400,000 kitchen renovation in year 4 because the owner wants change orders without paperwork. 6 months later, you read he sued his next contractor. You're 42. A broker calls about a sale. The median sale price for a building and construction business in the country is $750,000 at an average earnings multiple of 2.60 times. Your numbers fit. You sign. The wire clears. You hand over the keys, the truck doors, the Procore login, the backlog spreadsheet, and the punch list templates you wrote yourself. You walk out and stand in the parking lot. The expected ending of this story is master craftsman. The actual ending is risk manager with field credibility. The most cinematic part of your career was the middle. The framing, the fitting, the fixing, the morning you resequenced steel and saved 11 days. The top of the ladder pays better and feels less like the trade. The man who reviewed your license application has never built a wall. The broker who took 12% of your sale has never read a print. The buyer who will run the company next has never thrown a dumpster bag of demolished garage debris at 6 a.m. You drive home. The garage is full of tools you don't use anymore. A chalk line, 2 speed squares, a framing square, worn thin at one corner. You keep them. You never sell them. 24 years ago, you made $20.80 an hour. Today, the wire was for $750,000. The number is real. The hands are the same.